Hello everybody, Matt Scheck, PGA teaching professional here at the Atlanta Athletic Club, coming to you with a few quick tips. Now these tips today are very general and something that needs to be known for all golfers, but for those golfers that are just picking up the game or seem to struggle a lot, and they're looking for a couple quick tips that can really make a big difference. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the grip. And what I tell my students a lot of the times on the lesson tee is that a stronger grip is going to help the average golfer 99 times out of 100. So 99% of the time, you're going to benefit from a slightly stronger grip than a weaker grip. So there's that 1% of the time that maybe that weak grip will work for you, but for the majority of the time, we want to strengthen our grip. Now, what does strengthen the grip actually mean? It has nothing to do with grip pressure. It actually means where you actually put your hands on the club. So if I were to sit down here and look at a grip, a golf grip, this V should come over here to the right shoulder. That would be, let's call a neutral-ish grip. Okay, a lot of times I'll see a grip where I can actually, the top of the grip is visual to the camera's angle. Now this is a weak grip because I can only see one knuckle and not 2, 3, or 4. So with a weak grip, that means the club face is actually weak, which means it's pointed to the right or open. With a open club face, you're not going to get the compression, the distance that you need, and you're actually going to have to probably come a little steep to square it. So to strengthen your grip, you're going to want to take this top hand and roll it over the grip quite a bit to where that the top of the grip is not visual at all. A lot of these grips will have a line on the top. You want to go ahead and put that heel pad right on top of that line and hold it in the fingers to where you can really hinge the club without using your forearm, if that makes sense. So when we get this nice strong grip, the club face for some of you might start looking like it's closed, but it's not. You can just go ahead and go from your hands used to be back this way and go ahead and move them slightly forward to where we want them to have a very square club face. Now another way to think about the grip is if you just, Adam Scott does this, if you imagine a golf ball right here between your feet and you just set the club down to look at the golf ball, however this hand hangs, normally it hangs a little bit in, and you put the grip right there on it from here, that's going to be a good way of putting the hand on there correctly. So you go from here, go ahead and grip the club while it's right here facing the golf ball, and then bring it over without changing the grip. That's going to make sure that you have that good, strong grip that works 99 times out of 100 that I see from average golfers. So the other hand is just going to naturally go on there where that V goes right into that thumb. You kind of cover up that thumb. And now you have a club face where you're able to hit the golf ball on the proper path. If that club face gets really open and you come on the proper path, it's going to go out to the right. So we want to go ahead and, especially for people that tend to hit the ball off to the right or slice, we want to strengthen that grip to square the club face. Now the next thing I want to talk about is how close do you stand to the golf ball? Well, again, pretty much 99% of the time, somebody that's just beginning golf or doesn't play a lot of golf is going to benefit by getting a little bit closer to the golf ball and having those arms hang. This is how you want to set up to a golf ball, but I see a lot of times is people that set up with the arms completely straight and kind of on their toes. Now, if you set up with the club like this, you're kind of telling yourself that this is how you're going to hit the ball, meaning the only way to reach to this golf ball is to return right to where we started. Well, in actuality, you want to be able to be a little bit hips turned at impact, hands a little bit in front, so you have to actually be a little closer than you think to maintain that. So if I go arms straight and then I come through and I bring my hands in front and turn, I'm never going to reach that golf ball. So if I go ahead and get to where, for general, if you took the club and dropped it, it should drop just below your pocket line for a ball on the ground. That's a lot closer than a lot of times I see here. They drop and it goes all the way down to their knee. So if you stand a little closer right here, now all of a sudden I could reach out here if I needed to, but I don't want to, because I know when I come into the golf shot, I want to have my hips turned, I want to have my hands in front, and I actually want to keep this trail elbow bent as long as possible to get some extra power. Now I can really reach this golf ball from this position. So those are kind of the two things that grip and standing closer to it will greatly benefit the average golfer. Now, talking about ball flight laws, we'll call it. The golf ball only knows, in my opinion, two things. I'm going to really make this simple. The golf ball knows where the club is traveling, which direction it's traveling, or the club path, and it also knows the face angle, or where the club face is pointed. Knowing these two things can go ahead and explain a lot about what your ball is doing. So if the golf ball was a plane, and let's just say, for instance, somebody's the plane flies like this. Well, that's telling me two things. That the first thing is the player's path is pointed left of the club face, producing a left to right spin. So if we use the white line for our target, and if the player, let's say they swing where their shoulders are pointed, which is what happens most of the time. If they set up with their shoulders pointed over here, we'll call this orange line right here, and they come into the golf shot with the club face pointed on the white line, guess where it's going to go? It's actually going to go on the green line. It's going to slice over there. So what I see all the time is somebody that slices the golf ball, they keep aiming their shoulders farther and farther left, exacerbating the problem. So what we would need to do is actually flip the script here, and we want to go ahead and point our shoulders over here on the green and keep the club face looking at the target and swing out to the green with the club face closed and that strong grip, and that would produce a shot that goes right to left. Well, that's kind of the thought, is to do that if you're somebody that tends to hit fades or slices. Another good tip is swinging a 5.5 foot PVC pipe. If you're somebody that got your shoulders closed up but you're still hitting a slice, well, you are going really steep in transition and you're getting the club kicking out over the top, and what's going to happen is this PVC pipe is going to go straight into the ground. So taking practice swings with a very long club and trying not to hit the ground would be a perfect drill for you. So I would go ahead and warm up with this long club and try to get rid of the over the top. Because with a shorter club, somebody comes over the top, well, now they save it and they kick it back in here. That's not good either. So we want to learn how to go ahead and swing a normal swing and release it. I'm going to go ahead and hit some shots and I'll kind of show you what's going on here. So if we're hitting a straight shot, shoulders down the white, so we swing down the white, club face points right there with that good grip. If I wanted to hit a draw, I would go ahead and aim over here to the green, keep my club face pointed down the white, swing to the green and turn the toe over, and have it curve back the other way. And the dreaded slice, which people have trouble with, actually have their shoulders opened over here. Club face comes in looking at the target, and it curves the other way. Go back to a straight shot. Go ahead and check my grip, looks good. Go and check my ball position, looks good. Go ahead and check your shoulders. Hope these tips help you. Thanks.